Hey everyone! Today we're learning how to play the beautiful and honestly pretty clever card game, Mandala. In this quick explainer, you'll learn everything you need to know to get your first game to the table.
So, what's Mandala all about? Well, it's a tactical game for two players where you're both building these two shared sand mandalas. But here's the twist. You're also going to be ceremonially destroying them to claim the colored sand for points. It's this really cool cycle of creation and destruction.
Yep, Mandala is a two-player-only game, perfect for ages 10 and up, and you can usually wrap up a full game in about half an hour.
So how do you actually win? Let's talk about the goal.
It's really simple. You want to score more points than your opponent. You'll do this by claiming those colored sand cards after a mandala is finished and adding them to your personal collection. At the end of the game, the player with the highest score wins. Easy enough, right?
All right, let's get the game set up and ready to play.
First things first, unfold the playmat and put it right there between the two of you. Next, give all 110 of these sand cards a really good shuffle. This is your draw deck. Now, deal 2 cards face up into each of these central areas, which are called the mountains. After that, each of you gets to draw 6 cards to form your starting hand. And last but not least, you're each going to draw 2 more cards, but these, you place them face down into your cup. Think of this as your secret starting score pile.
Okay, with the setup all done, we're ready to start. The game is pretty straightforward. Players just take turns, and on your turn you do one thing.
You have 3 possible actions to choose from, and you have to pick just one. You can play a card to the central mountain area, you can play cards into your own personal area called your field, or you can just discard some cards to draw new ones. Now, before we dive into what those actions do, we have to talk about the most important rule in the entire game. It's called the rule of color, and it's this. For any one of the 2 mandalas on the board, a color can only be in one place at a time. It can be in the central mountain, or in your field, or in your opponent's field, but never in more than one of those spots.
Let's look at a quick example. So, see here, you could play a yellow card into the mountain. That's a totally legal move because right now there's no yellow in either your field or your opponent's. But you absolutely could not play this green card into the mountain because green already exists over in your opponent's field. Make sense?
Okay, so let's look at that first action, build the mountain. It's simple. You play exactly 1 card from your hand into one of the 2 mountains, making sure you follow that rule of color we just talked about. The reward for doing this? You get to draw cards. You can draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Just keep in mind, you can never ever have more than 8 cards.
Your second option is to grow your field. For this action, you can play as many cards as you want of a single color into your personal field. The big trade-off here is that you do not get to draw any new cards, so it's a powerful move, but it shrinks your hand. Oh, and you're not allowed to play your very last card this way. You have to keep at least 1.
And finally, if you just don't like the cards you have, your third action is to discard and redraw. You can discard 1 or more cards of the same color from your hand, and then you draw that exact same number of cards back from the deck. It's a great way to refresh your options.
So, as you and your opponent are playing cards and building up these mandalas, they're eventually going to get completed. And that's when things get really interesting. Let's see how that leads to scoring.
So what does complete mean? Well, a mandala is considered finished the very moment all 6 colors in the game are present somewhere in its 3 zones. That's the central mountain and the 2-player fields all combined.
The instant a mandala is complete, the game pauses and you destroy it. Here's how it works. First, you check who has more cards in their field for that mandala. Whoever has more gets a huge advantage. They get to pick first from the cards in the mountain. They choose one color and take all cards of that color. Then players go back and forth picking colors until the mountain is empty. Once that's done, all the cards from both player fields just get tossed into the discard pile.
Okay, this part is super important. What do you do with the cards you just claimed from the mountain? Well, if it's a color you haven't taken before, you take one of those cards and place it in the next open spot in your river. The rest of the cards of that color go face down into your cup. Now, if you claim a color that's already in your river, then all of those cards just go straight into your cup.
So how does the whole game end? It's triggered in one of 2 ways. Either a player adds a 6th and final color to their river, or the draw deck runs out of cards for the second time. Yeah, that's right. When the deck runs out the first time, you just shuffle the discard pile and keep on playing.
All right, time for the final scoring. It's a really cool system. The cards in your river, they don't give you points directly. Instead, they set the point value for each color. The cards in your cup, those are the ones that are actually worth points.
Let's look at this example.
The first color you put in your river is worth 1 point per card. The second is worth 2, the third 3, and so on, all the way up to 6. So here, red is in that first 1-point slot. With 4 red cards in the cup, that's 4 points. But look at yellow. It's in the 3-point slot. And with 6 cards, that's a massive 18 points. You just add it all up, and whoever has the highest total is the winner.
Before you go, I've got one crucial tip that'll save you some trouble in your first game.
Pay really close attention to your hand size. The limit of 8 cards is absolute. When you take that Build the Mountain action and get to draw, you can only draw up to 8 cards. You can't, for example, draw 3 cards to go up to 9 and then discard 1. It's a super common mistake for new players, so just keep an eye on it.
And that's really it. You now know everything you need to start playing your first game of Mandala. I hope you enjoy it. It's a fantastic, thinky little game. Have fun.